What if I told you that the most famous ship in history was called Unsinkable, but only a few days later, it disappeared into the icy ocean? Was it bad luck? Was it human pride? Or was there a mystery behind the disaster that shocked the entire world? This is the story of the Titanic. In the early 1900s, sea travel was the fastest way to cross the Atlantic Ocean. Shipping companies competed to build bigger and better ships. One company called White Star Line wanted to create the greatest ship ever built. The ship was designed by Thomas Andrews and built in Belfast by Harland and Wolff. After years of work, the Titanic was finally ready. It was huge, it was luxurious, and many people believed it was almost impossible to sink. Newspapers called it one of the safest ships ever built. People were amazed. No one knew that history was about to change forever. On April 10, 1912, Titanic left Southampton on its first voyage to New York City. More than 2,200 people were on board. Some were rich businessmen. Some were poor families chasing a better life. All of them had dreams. None of them expected what was coming. As the ship crossed the cold waters of the North Atlantic, other ships sent warnings. They reported dangerous icebergs ahead, but Titanic continued at high speed. This is where one of the biggest mysteries begins. Why didn't the ship slow down? Some historians believe the crew wanted to arrive early and impress the world. Others think they simply underestimated the danger. The truth may never be known. Then came the night of April 14th. The ocean was calm, the sky was clear. Just before midnight, lookouts spotted something terrifying. An iceberg, right in front of them. The crew quickly tried to turn the ship, but it was too late. The iceberg scraped along Titanic's side. At first, many passengers did not even notice, but below the surface, several compartments were filling with water. Titanic was dying. When designer Thomas Andrews examined the damage, he gave a heartbreaking answer. The ship would sink. There was no way to save it. Panic slowly spread across the decks. Lifeboats were lowered into the freezing darkness. But there was another shocking problem. There were not enough lifeboats for everyone. Many people had believed Titanic was so safe that extra lifeboats were unnecessary. It was a mistake that would cost many lives. As the ship tilted deeper into the ocean, families were separated. Friends said goodbye. Musicians continued playing music to calm frightened passengers. The freezing water moved closer and closer. Then, in the early hours of April 15, 1912, Titanic broke apart and disappeared beneath the Atlantic Ocean. More than 1,500 people lost their lives. It became one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. But the mysteries did not end there. Some people claimed a fire inside the ship weakened its structure before the voyage. Others believed human arrogance played the biggest role. Many even wondered if the disaster could have been prevented entirely. One famous story says that a company executive wanted to prove the ship's power and speed to the world. However, there is no strong evidence that anyone officially challenged nature or ordered the ship to race recklessly. What is certain is that confidence in the ship's safety influenced many decisions, and those decisions had tragic consequences. For more than 70 years, Titanic remained lost beneath the ocean. Then, in 1985, explorer Robert Ballard finally found the wreck nearly 4,000 meters below the surface. The discovery answered some questions, but many mysteries remain. Titanic was not destroyed by one giant mistake. It was destroyed by many small decisions, ignoring warnings, too much confidence, and believing that technology could conquer everything. The real mystery of Titanic is not how it sank. The real mystery is why people failed to see the danger before it was too late. And even today, more than 100 years later, the Titanic continues to remind us of one powerful lesson. Nature does not care how rich, powerful, or advanced we are. One moment of overconfidence can change history forever. And that is why the story of Titanic is still remembered today.